Hey, what's up everybody? I am Nick and welcome to another video on my channel. Today is a really special day to me because it is day 100 on asking Lego to make a modular building of Oscorp Tower from Spider-Man. And oh my, it has been an incredible journey and I'm really thankful for everybody who has stayed with me throughout all the days and everything to make day 100 of Oscorp possible. I am really am thankful. Today is a different type of video, obviously. I'm sitting at my desk, I'm sitting with a cup of coffee right here, and I'm sitting here with a couple of words on a sheet. Now, you're probably wondering what those words are. Well, it is my list on what we're going to be talking about today for day 100 of Oscorp Tower. Today, we're going to be talking about what minifigures could be in Oscorp Tower, like Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, Venom, etc. We're going to be talking about that. Second, we're going to be talking about well, that just fell over. Second, we're going to talk about what is inside the Oscorp Tower. What is going to be inside? What science lab? Is there going to be like a villain section? We'll get to that and all of that. Third, will the price be? What can the price be? What is flexible for people? All of that, we'll get to that later. The fourth one we're going to go over is the pieces. How many pieces are going to be in it? Is it going to be like the Avengers Tower right there that has, I forgot how many, but is taller than the Daily Bugle? Or is it going to have the same amount as the Daily Bugle? You'll find that out later. And fifth, how tall will the building be? And that will kind of go with the pieces. How tall is it? Is it going to be taller than the Avengers Tower? Is it going to be taller than the Daily Bugle? You'll find that out later. And obviously, the last question, when will it release? Is it going to release next year? Is it going to release this year? Or will Lego ever release it? And I'll just be stuck on this continuous cycle of asking Lego to make a modular building of Oscorp Tower. But anyways, let's get started on to what should be in the Oscorp Tower set. And before we do that, I just want to say, if anything looks different, my phone died on me. Of course it did. It's just my luck. So everything is a little probably different. I can't tell. We'll probably tell when I edit it. But anyways, let's get into the minifigures. What you guys have been waiting for. What minifigures should be in the Oscorp Tower. And I think you guys are going to be liking my list. I got 2 lists here, but 3 in total. Superheroes, villains, and citizens. I think you guys are going to like my list. So hear me out. For the first citizen we have is Peter Parker. But it's not your average Peter Parker. It's not like he's wearing like a button-up shirt or anything. No, he's going to be wearing a lab coat. Unique lab coat. Maybe the arms are rolled up with a little spider bite on his arm, referencing that he just got bit by that spider. Or they could just do a normal Peter Parker. Anything would be fine, but I'm hoping that they will do the scientist type of version with the lab coat on. But anyways, the next citizen on my list is Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn should definitely be in Oscorp Tower. He made the building. Makes sense. He could come. The minifigure will have green and purple suit. It will be a suit, and it'll look great. I don't think they ever made a Norman Osborn minifigure. Put in the comments below if I am wrong about that. But next figure on the list is Harry Osborn, or Peter Parker's friend. But Harry Osborn should just come with a nice suit and tie, or a nice suit, and I don't know what they can do with Harry. They could make him maybe a little sick. I do not know. Yeah, Harry Osborn. I don't know what he could be dressed up as. But the next people on my list is Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy. The reason why I put these guys together is because they're both Spider-Man / Peter Parker's love interest, and I feel like it just makes sense to have both of them in there. But that leads on to our next one, which is George Stacy. George Stacy is the captain of the police team, which he got stabbed and killed at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 1. I'm pretty sure it's number 1. Yeah, he did. He got stabbed by the lizard. It would just make sense. They could add that little scene up there on the roof of the building to add George Stacy. Maybe he could have a little stab wound if Lego wants to go that far. Next on our list is getting into the interesting citizen characters, which I personally think should be added into the Oscorp Tower. Starting with Dr. Kurt Connors. Dr. Kurt Connors, as a scientist, he has his lab coat on with the one arm. That would look awesome. It would honestly complete it. I would care if that's the whole lineup for citizens. Dr. Kurt Connors, before he turns into the lizard, would be amazing. It will look so good. It would make sense because in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, we see him with one arm. It just makes sense. Next person on the list is Dr. Otto Octavius. As a scientist, as I should mention, he will have a lab coat, maybe with the little connectors in his back, but I want to see him in a lab coat before he turns into the octopus or Dr. Otto Octavius or Doc Ock. You get my gist. And now, for the final two characters, I want Max Dillon as an engineer for the Oscorp Tower. You know, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he fell in that fish tank, electric eel tank. That's kind of what I want in Lego form, just an engineer before he got electrocuted by the electric eels. And finally, not least, Ned. Ned obviously turns into the Hobgoblin, so seeing Ned as a minifigure just makes sense. Moving on to the villains. I have a lot of villains to go over that should be in the Oscorp Tower. Some of them relate to the Oscorp Tower. Some of them don't relate to the Oscorp Tower. But I'm pretty sure my list is valid, and I'm hoping you guys will like my list. First on the list, we have Green Goblin. Obviously, Green Goblin will be in this set. It makes sense. I shouldn't explain why we need a Green Goblin. Next on the list is Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin, obviously, Ned turns into Hobgoblin, like I just said. Hobgoblin, very overdue minifigure that we haven't seen in a while. Definitely needs to be back and gloried for this Oscorp Tower. Next on the list, I have a Rhino minifigure, and they could give him a little buildable mech. We could put Rhino in, and he could charge at Spider-Man or climb the Oscorp building. I think that would look pretty cool. Next on the list is Max Dillon. Max Dillon as Electro, though. After he falls in, I don't care if they do the yellow version or the blue version. I kind of wish they do the blue version. Just give it a little more unique character and maybe have it as an exclusive minifigure in this set. Who knows? But the next character I do have on the list is a figure that we haven't seen in a while. The last time we saw this minifigure, I believe, was in a Homecoming set, and that is the Vulture. The Vulture is a long overdue minifigure. Again, same like Hobgoblin. We just need a Vulture. It just makes sense. Vulture is one of the main Sinister Six villains. Please, Lego, add Vulture into the Oscorp building. If you guys ever make it, which you should listen to me. Next on the list is Doc Ock. Obviously, we're going to have a full lineup of the Sinister Six and more, because Spider-Man's just that powerful. He could clap all of these guys together. Doc Ock, obviously, I don't really need to talk about it much. You guys know who Doc Ock is. But the Lizard is the interesting one. In my last couple reviews, I said I didn't like how the Lizard looked as a minifigure. I think this is the best opportunity Lego has to make a big fig of the Lizard. Lego, hear me out. We need that big fig of the Lizard. Like Thanos, like Obsidian, I believe his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But a big fig will look awesome and it will go a long way. Scorpion we haven't seen in a very, very long time. I think the last Scorpion we had was actually on the bridge battle, which is long retired. I remember that kind of what got me into Lego Marvel is seeing the bridge battle. I don't know the name of the set, but I'll pop it on screen. Scorpion, we need him. Maybe a new tail piece would look good. Maybe, I don't know what they could do with Scorpion. But the next villain on the list is Sandman. And we just got Sandman as a buildable minifigure. But I kind of like what they did with the Daily Bugle Sandman. And I'll bring it right here. Sandman right here. I liked what they did with him. But I think they could go bigger. I think, in my opinion, they could go bigger and better. Make Sandman a little more taller. But yeah, Sandman's definitely on there. And of course, I have to add some symbiotes to the list. And we have Venom and Carnage. Now, Venom and Carnage will look great. I mean, it's just Venom and Carnage. Venom and Carnage came with the Daily Bugle. Just makes sense to add them here. Oscorp Tower contains the Venom symbiote and Carnage symbiote. I believe so they do. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that they do. And it just makes sense. In the tower, we could have like a little capsule with the Venom symbiote and a Carnage symbiote. Maybe a Scream symbiote. List goes on. Now we're getting into the villains that don't need to be in the set. But I think a lot of people would like them being in the set. Mysterio. We've seen him in the Daily Bugle. I don't know what else we have seen him in. But I know the Daily Bugle we have seen him in. Shocker. Shocker would be a incredible minifigure they could add to this roster. Same with Chameleon and Kraven. Those three, I don't think has ever been in a Lego set. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I've seen them. Maybe Shocker. But I don't think Chameleon and Kraven have been. If you, Lego, listen, if you add those guys, it would, you would did an outstanding job there. But moving on to the heroes or the anti-heroes, there's not many. I limited down to like four of them. Because Spider-Man could easily eliminate every villain that I just named off. Because he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the best superhero. You don't even argue that. But for the superheroes that I'm giving off, we obviously gonna have Spider-Man. I personally think it should be the Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man makes sense. Oscorp Tower, they mainly focus that movie on Oscorp Tower, so it just makes sense to have the TASM Spider-Man. Spider-Gwen as well. Spider-Gwen would be pretty cool to see. If Lego wants to add different superheroes, that's fine too. But I'm just giving out the three main ones and also Miles Morales. The three main Spider-Man, in my opinion, should be in the Oscorp Tower. Now this one's a anti-hero type, but Black Cat. We need a new Black Cat minifigure. Yeah, one came with the Daily Bugle, but I just don't like that one. I feel like Lego could easily skyrocket and hit that one out of the park. But yeah, Black Cat minifigure would be, it would complete the roster, for sure. Okay, so let's get into the interior of the Oscorp Tower and what should be inside the Oscorp Tower. And I have 5 stories like the Avengers Tower did. I was about to say Oscorp Tower. Like the Avengers Tower did. They did 5 stories. The Daily Bugle did 4. So I'm going to stick with 5. I think 5 is just a magic number that Oscorp Tower will attain. Because I feel like it should be as tall as Avengers Tower because it's taller than the Daily Bugle. Makes sense. But starting off, we should have a front desk lounge area like the Avengers Tower did, the Daily Bugle just makes sense. Somewhere where the scientists could have a little drink, lounge, and just have fun. I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there. Above the front desk should be the electric eel room. So this is where Max Dillon will fall into the electric eel pit, knowing him as Electro. It just makes sense. We've seen it in the movies. So having the electric eel room for Electro would be perfect. Above that room should be the spider testing room, I guess, or lab, where Peter Parker walks in Spider-Man 1, he gets bit by the radioactive spider. I kind of want it to be something like that. I feel like it would be really interesting to see that put into Lego form, and Lego create a custom little spider that's radioactive crawling around everywhere. Then that would complete that room. The room above it, I don't really know what to put in there. So I just said Dr. Kurt Connor's office. The reason why Dr. Kurt Connor's office is because he could have the lizard serum and have like different types of serums, different like, because he's a Norman Osborn's doctor, so he'll have probably the Green Goblin serum. I don't really know what he could be put, but different little Easter eggs for sure. He could have like the rat running on the treadmill. And speaking about Easter eggs, this is where all the Easter eggs will be laid out, is the room above Norman Osborn's office. Norman Osborn's office would go so well at the very top floor. It would have like the Carnage, Venom symbiote in like the capsules. It would have the Green Goblin serum. It would have different like masks on the wall for like Rhino, Vulture, Doc Ock, Black Cat. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. I think just having Norman Osborn's office and having like all these different little hidden Easter eggs throughout his office would just really please a Spider-Man fan like me. But we're not done with the interior. It's more like the exterior now. We're going to be putting in the roof. The roof would have like these giant tube, like what we see in the Amazing Spider-Man 1. I'll throw a picture on right now. We'll see something like that where we have pipes and all of that, where we could place the lizard figure and Spider-Man, and it will be like a big tower. I think that would work very well. And maybe have some like ice in certain spots just to recreate that scene. But yeah, that's it for the interior. I'm pretty sure I got it mostly all down, but yeah, that's what I want to see in the Oscorp Tower, is a front desk, electric eel room, spider testing room, lab, Dr. Kurt Connor's office, and Norman Osborn's office. I think those are pretty good choices. If you guys have any better choices than me, just put it in the comments below. I would love to hear it. So anyways, let's talk about how many pieces should be in the Oscorp Tower. Should it be 10,000 pieces? Should it be 2,000 pieces? Or should it be just 3,000 pieces? No. All of those pieces I have named out should not be what Oscorp Tower should be. What Oscorp Tower should be is around 5,000 to 6,000 pieces. Obviously not height-wise, but piece-wise, 5,000 to 6,000 pieces would be perfect. Avengers Tower has 5,200 pieces. I believe it does at least. So having it around that range should be perfect. I don't know. I think Daily Bugle has 4,000 pieces. So what they could do with 4,000 pieces and what can they do with 5,000 pieces is pretty different. So I would like to see kind of like a middle ground in the height for the pieces. But that kind of moves on to the next question, is how tall will the Oscorp Tower be? And like I said just a couple seconds ago, Oscorp Tower should be a couple of inches taller than the Daily Bugle, but not as tall as Avengers Tower. If they want to go the route and make it as tall as Avengers Tower, I wouldn't mind that at all. If not, I think it should be at least taller than the Daily Bugle, just by a couple of inches, because Oscorp Tower is in universe taller than the Daily Bugle. So having it in kind of like the mid ground would look perfect if they are all right beside each other or right beside the Daily Bugle. If you don't have the Avengers Tower and just have the Daily Bugle, having that Oscorp Tower being taller than the Daily Bugle would look perfect. At least in my opinion. Just having it too big or too, like, if it's smaller than Daily Bugle, that would not look good at all. It has to be taller than the Daily Bugle to make it, you guys get what I mean. And now for the question everybody wants to know: when will Oscorp Tower release? Is it going to be this year? Is it going to be next year? Is Lego even making it? Well, I'll let you know. I don't know if Lego's making it. They don't text me. I say, hey man, can you make a Lego Oscorp Tower? It's been 100 days. No answer, no reply. From least what I know, I am filming this on day 95 of Oscorp Tower, just to get it out of the way so I can have it ready for you guys and I'm not stressing out. But when will it release? That is a good question. If it does release this year, it would be perfect to release in October of 2024, October 1st. So it will have the Christmas season pretty much. Because I could see kids, oh my God, an Oscorp Tower? Mom, please, I need it. I need an Oscorp Tower. Totally, I could totally see kids doing that. It's an Oscorp Tower. It's like the second main building of Spider-Man. Now, what they can do, and this would be kind of pretty cool, is in July 1st of next year. So in 2025, July 1st, they should release it. If they do wait until 2025. The reason why I say July is because that's the month of when the first Amazing Spider-Man movie came out to theaters, is July 12th, 2020. 2012? I think, I could be wrong. I'm really bad at dates if you guys couldn't tell. But in July of 2025, July 1st is when they should release Oscorp Tower if they're going to wait until 2025. I don't really know when they could release it, but those are the two main dates. If they're going to release it this year, go for October 1st. If they're going to release it next year, July 1st or May 1st, or we just need an Oscorp Tower. It's long overdue, Lego. We need it. It just makes sense. And also, guys, it is day 100 on asking Lego to make a modular building of Oscorp Tower from Spider-Man. Please, Lego, release it this year, October 1st. If not, release it July 1st, 2025. It makes sense. You know I'm right. You know we need this tower. It's long overdue. But yeah. But I guess this video has to come to an end at one point or another. So I guess this is goodbye for now, guys. This is day 100, like I said, of asking Lego to make a modular building of Oscorp Tower from Spider-Man. It's been a heck of a journey, and I'm so thankful for everybody who has commented, liked, and made me gain the subscribers that I have now from this series. I couldn't thank you enough. You are making my dreams a reality. But anyways, I'm going to sign out here. Thank you guys for joining me on this epic roller coaster of emotions. Day 100. I can't believe it. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been a journey, and it's just the start of it.